Victor, did less choose you or did you choose less?
I think Les chose me, I guess. It depends how I interpret that question. Maybe I interpret it not in a good way. So what happened is that what I just mentioned before, Port of Rotterdam case, we were simply experimenting based on principles of Scrum, how to do Scrum with the many teams, and that happened to be the exactly same principles, understanding of Scrum as it is also in LeSS. So then what happened is that I ended up with implementing LeSS together with a bunch of other people through experimentation. And then I ended up in Asia and I came across Bus. And I think Bus saw my talk in a conference, and I think it's in Singapore, and then he said, "Well, do you want to be a less trainer? Because it seems like what I talk about and what I explain and the way of thinking and looking at stuff, it's an already done basically less adoption. And so, would you like to be that?" And I said, "Okay, let's work on that." So that's how it ended up actually, and I never actually kind of like looked up. I never even read the Bus books, so I was doing less adoption without knowing anything about Bus or his books. The funny part is that I remember working. I used to work at Exebia before all of this. Sorry to interrupt you. So the and I was and in Exebia is now a really big Dutch, like the major player in this whole space. And so that time it was like a 16 people, 1 6. Okay, so there was like a really small. And we had this in the office, like a very small building, and it actually just a larger house. And then we have this library. And in the library, I remember seeing those books, but I never bothered to pick them up and read them. So you could just take those books and read them. And so I just didn't bother to do that. But I do remember those books. So it's kind of funny. Yeah.
It's a common pattern that people are successful using Scrum and not even moderately successful, I would say. I would say really successful using Scrum. And then they happened across one of the books or the Less.works website for those trainers that maybe came a little bit after you and I, because I know that when you became a trainer, there was no Less.works. And I know that when I became a trainer, there was no Less.works. I remember looking at the early logos for Less, and the one that I preferred didn't get chosen. But it was kind of complex. It was a very complicated.